Hey everyone, MovieTurtle here with another analysis video. Previously on this channel I have covered the first entry in Rocksteady's Arkham trilogy, Batman Arkham Asylum. Today we'll be talking about the sequel and one of my favorite games of all time, Batman Arkham City. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoy. Who is the Batman? As we talked about in the previous video, some view him as a symbol of fear and vengeance, sent out into the night to strike terror into the hearts of criminals. A man robbed of his childhood and eager to break those who would dare do it to others. However, first and foremost, Batman is a hero. Someone meant to stand up for and defend those who cannot save themselves. Broken as a boy, Bruce Wayne starts his crusade as the Dark Knight not to beat the snot out of criminals every night, but to defend Gotham's citizens from a fate similar to his parents and his own. Due to this, he has also taken a solemn vow to never take a life, but to instead rise above the criminals who dare threaten his city. Let's be real for a second. A lot of people die in Batman Arkham Asylum. While Batman did make attempts to save people in Arkham Asylum, it wasn't a large focus of that game's core storyline. Instead, that game was a 10-hour horror adventure set on an isolated island. For me, it's Arkham City where we see Bruce take over his role as Gotham's savior. The game's main questline finds Batman fighting to save hundreds of people from the Joker and Hugo Strange's plans. On top of that, most of the side quests in the game also focus on Batman's desire to help others. The game's additional DLC epilogue is centered entirely around Batman helping those in need. Between the main story, side quests, and even the game's DLC, Batman Arkham City cements Batman as Gotham's White Knight. Looking at the main story, Batman is once again thrown into a super prison filled with all of his greatest enemies. This time, however, it's a massive section of the city that has been condemned and walled off, forming Arkham City. Here, inmates run the abandoned section of the city, killing one another in gang wars, while the warden Hugo Strange watches from his tower above. Batman is left with hundreds of lives to save during his journey. Strange learns Bruce's secret identity and has him incarcerated within the prison walls. After an encounter with the Penguin, Bruce could easily leave Arkham City using the Batwing or some other tech. But instead, he wishes to stay, as Strange has something called Protocol 10 planned. While some people may argue this is the good old, but then you wouldn't have a video game plot hole, I instead feel it's true to Bruce's character. He cannot in good conscience leave anyone, not even criminals, to potential harm or death. So, Bruce suits up and what is the first thing he does? Sets off to rescue Catwoman after hearing that she's being held hostage by Two-Face. The player has only just suited up and already we are off to save someone as the first objective of the game. It's a great way to kick things off and establish the main goal of the game and Batman's true mission, to save lives. He faces down an army of Harvey's goons just to get to her. I have always really liked this intro to the game. It introduces the player to the game's combat mechanics, while also showing that the very first thing Bruce does once he gets into the city is start saving people. Following up on a lead about the Joker, after saving Catwoman from him now, Batman heads to the Gotham Cathedral that is now home to the prison's medical team. Inside, he finds the medical team held hostage to one Harley Quinn. He takes the initiative to take out each of the armed guards in the room, making sure he is not seen as to not endanger the hostages. After rescuing all members of the medical team in the church, they let Batman know that Joker has taken one of them hostage at the Sionis steel mill. He really should be getting to the bottom of what Protocol 10 is, but he can't just leave an innocent person's life in the hands of the Joker. After rescuing the final doctor, the second main storyline kicks off. Joker reveals that he is dying due to the Titan from the last game poisoning him. He injects Batman with it, giving him the ultimatum to save them both, or die with him. Initially, Batman makes the stance that he's okay with dying, knowing Joker goes with him. Later events in the game will prove that deep down I don't think Bruce actually means it. While he may be okay with his own death, his one rule about no killing means that even the villains are worth saving. Of course, there's a catch. The Joker has sent samples of his blood all over Gotham, poisoning hundreds with the Titan sickness. Batman no longer has a choice. He must set out to find a cure for the Titan poisoning before Gotham falls. While Batman was out to save lives in Arkham Asylum, it's here that the entire city is a risk between Strange and the Joker. Investigating Mr. Freeze's attempts at a cure, Batman discovers that he has been kidnapped by the Penguin. Of course, Bruce sets off to save him from the Penguin's grasp. Once inside the fortress of a museum Penguin calls home, Batman learns that Gordon sent in a strike team to find out what was going on inside the prison, who have all been captured by Penguin. Bruce must put his journey for a cure on pause while he ensures the officer's safety. Unfortunately, Penguin executes one of the officers in front of Batman, leading to Batman setting his sights on Cobblepot. This is the first time in the game when Batman fails to save someone, and it stuck with me for so long the first time I played through it. You can tell Batman is furious at this loss of innocent life and will seek vengeance for it when he reaches Cobblepot. Entering the torture chamber, Batman finds one of my favorite parts of the game. Using Freeze's ice gun, Penguin has frozen multiple GCPD officers throughout a frozen shark tank. Batman must move slowly as to not break the ice, and cannot leave the area until all officers are safe. I love the tension in this scene as the player avoids falling into the water, while also rescuing the remaining hostages in the room. It brings back feelings of sneaking through Killer Croc's lair in the first game, however, other lives besides Batman's are now on the line. After ensuring all the officers are safe, Bruce finds Freeze and rescues him from Penguin's twisted museum piece. Unfortunately, Freeze cannot complete the cure without a bonding agent that would take years. Thankfully, Bruce knows just the man who can reluctantly help them. Ra's al Ghul. An immortal eco-terrorist, Ra's has been alive for centuries due to the use of a Lazarus pit. During his search, Bruce comes across another doctor taken hostage by Joker. After her rescue, the doctor asks Batman an important question in my book.
He's dying, right?
It seems that way.
Is it wrong not to feel bad about that?
The obvious answer is no. No one should feel bad that the Joker is dying. But Batman cannot just let him die. He has to try. After his encounter with the Ra's, Bruce returns to the surface of Arkham City to learn Quincy Sharp, former warden of Arkham Asylum turned mayor of Gotham, has been imprisoned within the city walls. Bruce sets out to save him not only as a hero, but also for answers. Sharp claims he doesn't need Batman's help, but Bruce isn't giving him a choice. At this moment, we see the Arkham Asylum Batman shining through, using his techniques of fear and intimidation to force an answer out of Sharp. Returning to Freeze, they synthesize a cure for the Titan poisoning. However, Freeze attacks Batman on the orders of the Joker, who has taken his wife hostage. Bruce is not a heartless man despite the cold and hard exterior that he puts on when he dons the Dark Knight. He promises Victor that he will rescue Nora for him before departing to deal with the Joker. The relationship between Batman and Mr. Freeze has always been one of my favorite. To me, it's one of mutual respect. Neither are bad men, but their methods may differ. Victor is willing to do anything, even kill, to find a cure for his wife's illness, and that is where Batman must step in. Bruce is willing to do almost anything except kill to save innocent lives. On his way back to the Joker, Batman must rescue Major Gotham News reporter Vicky Vale after her helicopter is shot down over Arkham City. The use of the line launcher to take her to safety is an obvious reference to when he did the same in the 1989 Tim Burton film. During Batman's encounter with the Joker, Strange initiates Protocol 10, revealing it to be a mass execution of all prison inmates. During this time, Joker also takes Bruce's on-again, off-again lover, Talia al Ghul, hostage. Bruce is left with a classic trolley problem. Save Talia or save Gotham? His emotions do get the better of him in this moment, wishing to go after Talia and then stop Protocol 10. Alfred and Barbara must be the angels on his shoulder to remind him that Gotham needs him now, jamming his connection to Talia's tracker until he stops Protocol 10. A lot of people claim this scene is really out of character for Bruce, choosing to go after Talia while hundreds are actively being killed. I myself feel a little mixed on it. I too agree that Bruce would usually put the needs of the many over the needs of the few. However, Talia is one of the few romantic interests he has had in the character's history. This moment reminds us that Bruce is still human under all that armor. But after the tracker is jammed, he realizes that Barbara and Alfred are right, setting off to stop Protocol 10. Batman ascends Strange's tower that serves as his base of operations. At the top, Batman learns that Hugo is being backed by Ra's al Ghul, who is using Arkham City as a method to kill all of Gotham's criminals at once. Batman even shows kindness to Strange after he is mortally wounded by Ra's, trying to get him medical attention. Of course, Strange accepts his fate and blows the tower sky high. Batman grabs Ra's, attempting to save him from the explosion, but Ra's doesn't want to be saved by the Dark Knight, killing himself in the process. The compassion Bruce shows to even his enemies is a sign of a great hero. He could easily let Ra's and Hugo pick each other apart and go up in smoke with the tower, but he has to at least try. After all that, the Joker calls to remind Batman he still has Talia at the Monarch Theater, where Batman spent that final night with his parents. Upon entering the theater, Batman finds that the main hall is rigged with explosives, and Joker holding Talia at gunpoint on the main stage. Joker demands Batman hand over the cure for Talia's life, which confuses Batman as Joker appears totally cured. In this moment of hesitation, Talia disarms Joker and runs him through with her sword. While glad she's unharmed, Bruce is furious that Talia would kill Joker, knowing his one rule. Bruce actually takes a moment to mourn his fallen enemy, before realizing it's a trick too late. The real Joker kills Talia, and Bruce is forced to hold the love of his life in his arms as she dies. I can't imagine the flood of emotions and thoughts Bruce has going through his head, having just lost his nemesis, love, and having this whole Joker twist happen to him within the span of a few minutes. This is one of his greatest failures of the night, and the game isn't even over yet. After a fight with Clayface, Batman drinks his half of the cure, saving the other half for Joker as to not break his one rule. Joker goads him from the shadows to hand over the cure, taunting Batman with his inability to just let the mad clown die. Batman truly does hesitate for a moment, remarking that Joker will never change. He'll just break out and do it all again. Joker makes his move during this moment and pays for it dearly as Batman drops the cure and it shatters on the ground. Joker falls to the ground, knowing he has little time left. Him and Batman share their final words together in the best way possible.
Are you happy now?
Do you want to know something funny? Even after everything you've done, I would have saved you.
That actually is pretty funny.
I remember being truly shocked at this twist back in 2011. While not the first story to do it, it's rare that the Joker has ever truly died in DC Comics history. Batman has failed once again to save someone on this horrible night. Batman is forced to carry the Joker's body out of the theater, leaving all the goons and Harley outside speechless. One of the few times he's failed to save someone is now on display for everyone to see. Even Gordon can't say much outside of,
What the hell happened in there?
I can't believe this was the way Rocksteady had chosen to end this game back when I first played it in 2011. Batman loses so much in the third act of this game, despite his best efforts to save everyone he could throughout the night. As you can see, the main campaign is full of moments that let Batman shine as Gotham's White Knight. There are endless hostages saved, moments of kindness, and Batman preventing those from harm. I truly love how heroic Batman is shown during the main story of this game. The acts of heroism don't stop there. A new addition to the franchise after Arkham Asylum, City introduced side missions into the game. Here are some of the additional missions that give Batman even more opportunities to show Gotham what kind of hero he is. In the identity theft storyline, Batman finds mutilated bodies around the prison left by a serial killer roaming Arkham City. Bruce launches a full-blown investigation in order to bring an end to these murders. During the Shot in the Dark storyline, Batman initially fails to save the first few victims of the world's greatest assassin, Deadshot. While it is sad to see so many people die due to Batman being late, he uses clues from each assassination to eventually save Deadshot's future victims. These two missions may seem like a bit of a downer, with Batman arriving too late to save everyone, but the next is a little better. The Cold Call Killer storyline follows notorious serial killer Victor Zsasz as he kidnaps political prisoners to make his next victims. Batman must find Zsasz's ringing phones around the city to backtrack Zsasz's location to his hideout. Here, Batman takes down Zsasz, preventing him from harming the hostages he has collected. My personal favorite of these side missions is Heart of Ice. This follows on Batman's promise to help Mr. Freeze find his wife Nora. After some investigating, Batman locates her in a warehouse full of Joker's goons. He dispatches them quickly and lets Victor know of his wife's location. The next two side missions are incredibly simple, but still feature the Dark Knight coming to the aid of others. Acts of Violence storyline follows political prisoners thrown into Arkham City by Strange to cover up his plans. Batman rescues them all over the city throughout the night, defending them from the violent criminals they cannot stop themselves. The remote hideaway mission begins with a call from the GCPD officers Batman rescued from the Penguin. They are holed up in the Iceberg Lounge with enemies at the door trying to get in. Batman must arrive and clear the area of enemies to keep those he has already rescued safe for the remainder of the night. Finally, the longest side mission of them all, the Enigma Conundrum, finds Batman racing to save the medical staff who has now been taken hostage by the Riddler. Each hostage is in their own unique puzzle room that Batman must solve to get out alive. Batman truly puts himself at great risk and pushes himself both physically and mentally to bring each of these doctors home safely. As seen in all these side missions, just because the main storyline is over does not mean Batman is done rescuing people. I truly believe it was done on purpose to have all these side missions revolve around saving people, as later games do not follow this same format. It captures what makes Batman great within a few short hours. On top of the main story and side missions, the game's story DLC, Harley Quinn's Revenge, also adds even more rescues. In the story DLC for the game, Batman returns to Arkham City after Harley Quinn has taken multiple GCPD officers hostage in a fit of rage. In a selfless moment, Batman makes the decision to take the bullet for one of the officers about to be killed by Harley. This is a perfect example of why Batman is a hero. Sure, he's wearing bulletproof armor, but he instinctively jumps in front of the bullet if it means it won't harm someone else. Towards the end of the DLC, Harley blows the building sky high. Believing Robin and the officers to still be in there, Batman mourns another loss. Robin is of course safe and sound, as are the officers. Batman takes off into the night, obviously still shaken by his failure to save the Joker all those weeks ago. While I might not love the story decisions of this add-on, I have to admit it's another great example of the hero Batman is. He constantly puts himself in harm's way to save others and mourns those he could not. I hope I've made it plenty clear that Batman is not just a tool for vengeance and assault. Rather, a hero who defends those who cannot save themselves, acts out of kindness, and saves people from impossible situations. Arkham City's main story, side missions, and the DLC epilogue shine a white light on Gotham's night. By the end of this video, if my count is correct, which it very well may not be, Batman saved a total of 37 people, a much more heroic venture than Arkham Asylum. Remember, all the moments in this game, except Harley Quinn's revenge, occur in just one night. It is no wonder the people of Gotham trust the Batman to guard their city and its people from the threats lurking in the night. Though he may venture out dressed in black, Batman truly is Gotham's White Knight. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my ramble about one of my favorite heroes and one of my favorite games. This video is the first in a set of analysis videos looking into this game. Arkham City is just such a large step up from the first game, and I had just too much to talk about to fit into a single video. Of course, I also still plan to break down or analyze the remaining 2 games in the franchise, so stay tuned for that. If you liked what you saw and want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thank you, and enjoy your day.